Alright guys, welcome back to the channel. Welcome to another video with the Dokkan Fest androids dropping this morning. That does mean the EZA for the free-to-play LR androids has come with it. Now, just in case there are any of you out there who do need some help or don't know how to Dokkan awaken them, or sorry, not Dokkan awaken them, EZA them, I will do a video shortly after this covering it, because I know a few people did ask me like, how do you get medals or how do you get extra copies for the free-to-play LR Goku that came out with the version Z update. So just in case you are kind of stuck, you're a bit lost, I will kind of quickly do a video covering it, and if it helps you, it helps you. But yeah, we're going to be going into a Dokkan event and obviously doing a showcase on the free-to-play EZA androids, who are a very good unit. They came out 5 years ago. Literally 5 years ago, a few days ago, these came out. So if you ever have a hope for a unit in the game to receive an EZA, no matter how old it is, just know that it is probably going to happen, because these LRs were bad pretty much as soon as they dropped. And now they're a pretty decent usable unit after an EZA 5 years later, but we're going to be running them of course on an Androids team. Don't worry, this 17 isn't EZA'd either just yet, nor is the GT one. I've only just started trying to EZA this one. He's pretty much here just for links, so I'll be doing videos on the two 17s either today or tomorrow, depending on when I finish both their EZAs. And then also covering the new SBR stage. I think now they are releasing one at a time, so we're not going to be overwhelmed with content. But do let me know what you think about the LR free-to-play androids down in the comments after their EZA. We're going to hop into a Dokkan event, get into the showcase, and see what they can do. Okay, so here we are. I did actually modify the team slightly because I completely forgot. The 17 that is actually picking up, like receiving an EZA during the celebration, does prior to EZAing support AGL and I think Int-type units. So I have taken them off, and that is pretty much the only change I've made. I did forget that the 13 does actually support Androids category allies, but the only thing is, it's not really accommodating because, you know, when you're going to be running an Androids category, he's one of the strongest leads, so you'll be running dual Android 13s anyway, so it's not really like I'm forcing loads of support on them. But we will rotate him off. We put this 17 on instead. We do have all of our links active apart from shocking speed and legendary power, so we're missing out on an extra bit of key, which I don't think they even need, if I'm being completely honest. And then of course an extra 10% attack on legendary power. So with the attack and defense plus 30%, we are on 128k attack stat and 101k defense, which isn't too bad. But as I said, you know, it's not really a comment. I want to get them on rotation without 13 there to see what they can do with the bare minimum, just links. Because as I said, when you're going to be running an Android category anyway, you're going to be, you know, you're going to be probably running dual 13s if you do have Android 13. So, you know, it's kind of like a tough one to kind of avoid. But even with that extra attack and defense plus 30%, what are we looking at? 3.4 million attack stat. That's actually pretty good. That is pretty good. When you think about how bad they were when they originally dropped 5 years ago, and then you think about how good they are now, even the amount of damage they're putting out, it's a major change. Like, it is a major buff, which is why I say if there is a unit in the game, whether how good or how bad or how old they are, eventually they will probably receive an EZA and be very good and have a major boost compared to how they used to be. I mean, look at Tech Hit, for example. He weren't that good. Now he's one of the strongest EZAs in the entire game. And also has one of the strongest rotations in the entire game. But for a free-to-play unit, that is pretty nice. That is pretty nice. But in terms of what they do support all types, Key plus 4, HP and attack and defense plus 80% as their leader skill, which is, I mean, not bad when you consider all types don't really get like a high leader skill. I mean, still not great, obviously. I mean, you could use it in Ultimate Clash, but other than that, you're never going to be using it. The 12 key, they do raise attack and defense by 30% for one turn. They cause colossal damage to enemy and lowers attack and defense by 20% for 3 turns. By the way, we are in an Android 13 event because they do lower superclass enemies defense by 78%. So I want to see what they can do against an extreme class enemy where they're not lowering their defense by 78%, which is, by the way, kind of insane. It is kind of insane. But we are also getting the extra support from the LR androids as well, which gives us an extra attack plus 40%. So we do have all of our links active apart from Nightmare. What does Nightmare give us? Attack plus 10.5%. So this is another set of support, but this is purely attack based. So after picking up walls, we've got 277k attack. 85k defense is what they're going to have kind of standard with no support, because again, the LR androids or the Fizz LR androids don't give attack and defense, they just get 40% attack. So I mean, what, we're probably going to be sitting on almost a 4 milli attack stat, 3.68. Again, that's still pretty good considering this is a free-to-play unit. I mean, yeah. I mean, I just remember how bad these were back in the day. These were so bad that I didn't even bother finishing the grind until literally yesterday. Like, I never originally grinded them back in the day, because I knew how bad they were and it just wasn't worth the effort and time you put in. Like, back in the day, if you had androids, if you had the free-to-play LR androids, it was just kind of a flex to be like, look, I actually put the work in and got them. And even then, people used to question, like, why did you bother grinding for these? Like, so it was kind of a flex and it kind of wasn't, because again, you kind of just look kind of stupid for grinding these because they were terrible. But no, they are very much usable. But yeah, on their 18 key, they greatly raise attack and defense for one turn, which is by 50%. Causes mega colossal damage to enemy and lowers attack and defense again by 20% for 3 turns. So they're always lowering attack and defense on super, which is great. Very handy for SBR and ESBR and like early phases, Goku and Vegeta event. The fact that it doesn't look like you're ever going to be struggling for key means you're constantly going to be getting the 18 key off, which is great. And it constantly means that every turn, you're going to be raising your attack and defense by 50% for the turn, which is actually really good. So with no support, they're on 98k attack stat and 84k defense, which is not so great when you think about some of the caliber of free-to-play units we've seen, or specifically free-to-play LR units. The starting kind of base stats before you even do anything, before you even touch an orb, isn't great. You know, LR free-to-play Goku, insane. Roshi's insane. Some of the non-LR free-to-play units are putting out some ridiculous numbers. But that's when their passive comes in, which is attack and defense plus 78% when performing a super attack. So slot 2 and slot 3. Actually, slot 3 is probably more ideal, because they are a support unit. Which is also very nice, by the way, the fact they're a support on top of what they're already doing. But slot 2 and slot 3 is ideal, so you can get the attack and defense plus 78% when performing a super attack, so they don't have a flat passive. Extreme class allies key plus 4 and defense plus 50%, which is nice. So again, in harder events, you probably want to run these in slot 3, but it looks like they'll be able to handle themselves in slot 3, never struggling to get an 18 key off, which is very nice. They do get an additional key plus 3 and attack plus 78% and launches an additional attack, which has a medium chance to become the super attack when attacking superclass enemies, which we'll do after this. And then superclass enemies defense minus 78%. So that's not even difficult to get off. Like, it's really not difficult to get off, or like that part of the passive that's based around superclass enemies. Like, it's not restrictive at all. When you consider the amount of superclass units or super type units in the game, and how a lot of those are, like, a lot of the enemies, superclass enemies, are based off the units that are in the game, apart from a few in some of the events. Goku and Vegeta event are strictly super type units. There's going to be a plethora of SBR and ESBR stages against super type units as well, or superclass enemies. So getting that off is going to be incredibly easy. Like, that's not restrictive at all. Obviously, if you go in specific ones, whether you're facing extreme class enemies, then obviously not. But there are so many events in the game which contain superclass enemies, that is never going to be a difficulty getting off, which is fantastic. All round, it's a very good EZA. And this is a free-to-play unit that's been out for 5 years that, as I said, was bad. He was bad on release. We didn't get to super attacking with him last time, but yeah, it looks like they're never going to be struggling for key. To be fair, we literally have, like, no links active here. Like, literally no links active. But we are never struggling for key. The least amount of key we're going to get is literally looks like a guaranteed 12 key. Which is not bad, considering you only have to pick up, like, an extra, you know, 6 key spheres. So a 2 milli attack stat. So they don't have the most links active. And they're only putting out a 2 million attack stat. Which is, it's okay, but bearing in mind they don't have the most links active right now. So, I mean, it's not the best, but as I said, granted, they only had 2 links active. So far, I'm quite impressed. They're not They're not as good as like free-to-play LR Goku or free-to-play Roshi, but it's still a pretty good EZA nonetheless. Like, it's still a huge step up from where this unit started. So we're going to hop into a superclass event, probably like just Goku event. And yeah, we're going to see what they can do when they lower superclass enemies defense minus 78%. So we are in the Goku event. I have brought LR Cell with us just so we can get legendary power off without getting the extra support from the androids. We are actually immediately on rotation with the androids. We do have a few links active. We are missing Nightmare, the Innocence, and Fear and Faith. So we're missing an extra attack plus 10%. We're missing an extra attack plus 10% again. And we're also missing Key plus 2. So we've got the attack plus 48%. They now have a medium chance of launching a super attack when facing a superclass enemy. And they're now lowering superclass enemies defense minus 78%. So this is where the free-to-play LR androids should kind of thrive. While they're already putting out some pretty decent numbers, this is where they should be doing some kind of big damage, you know, especially because the defense is going to be lowered by 78%. I know that you can't lower defense throughout, you know, the majority. 5.2. 5.2 million attack stat. Damn. Damn. Jesus Christ. That was crazy. That is crazy. 5.2 million attack stat. I mean, that's pretty good if I do say so myself. I know you can't lower defense for like the majority of this event, but you can for the early phases, and we won't be in here long. But 5.2 million with an extra attack plus 40% from the LR androids, or the LR Fizz LR androids. No, the Fizz LR androids. I don't want to say LR twice. That's really good. I mean, this EZA is so nice. Now they actually put out some decent damage. Their defense is okay, especially if you're getting your, you know, you get the 18 key off and you greatly raise attack and defense for the turn. You're facing superclass enemies. You kind of just, you know, you've kind of not won it for the whole team, but like, you know, the whole team's kind of winning off the fact they lower superclass enemies defense minus 78%. You know, if they get that medium chance of supering to come off when you're facing a superclass enemy as well, not only will you greatly raise your attack and defense for the turn, but then you raise your attack and defense again on 12 key. Not to mention they're a support. Yes, they're not a standard support, like giving key in attack and defense. They do give key plus 4 and defense plus 50%. The extra 50% in a harder event is incredibly useful. Incredibly useful. SBR and the SBR Goku and Vegeta event having extra 50% defense is incredibly useful to have. So I said, the fact that they only get their attack and defense plus 70% before the super attack means they're ideal on main rotation in slot 2. If you're not running them on the main rotation, of course, slot 3, they can support both rotations and be safe. 4.2 million, by the way, with no support. So when you're facing an extreme class enemy, they're not bad. They're still putting out some solid numbers with literally hardly any links active. You are getting, what, like a 2 million attack stat, which is kind of meh. Considering this is an LR. But it is a free-to-play LR, so do keep that in mind. When you've got a few of their links active, you've got just over 3 million attack stat, which is very nice again for a free-to-play unit. And with the support, they're just a bit under a 4 million attack stat. And when you're facing superclass enemies, they're putting out over a 4 million attack stat, 5 million attack stat easy. So, and as I said, that's not restrictive at all. That's incredibly easy to get off when you consider the amount of superclass enemies you'll be facing in the game. As I said, strictly Vegeta Goku event are superclass enemies. SBR and ESBR, the amount of stages that contain superclass enemies, that's not going to be difficult to get off at all. This is a really nice EZA. Like a really nice EZA. Decent support. Good numbers in terms of, you know, damage output. Defense is okay. You know, the fact they lower superclass enemies defense by 78% is great. Their links are okay as well. They're not bad. And the categories they go on, androids, join forces, siblings bond, android / Cell Saga, target Goku. The majority of those categories you can run with, you know, purely just android units. Not to mention their support isn't restricted to just androids. It's just extreme class allies. So as long as you're getting a few of their links off, they can just be run on any extreme team, any version of extreme team that isn't an androids based category team. which to be fair isn't really many because you just have joined forces or siblings bond, so, you know. But even so, it's a nice EZA, man. As I said, when you consider where they started, it is honestly a nice EZA. I said, they started as such a terrible unit that wasn't even worth the grind to get all the medals to Dokkan Awaken them, then potentially Dokkan Awaken another copy to get them to SA20. But this is a nice EZA. It's a very good EZA. As I said, Androids has received a major buff over the last few months, and even more now with all the new EZAs and obviously the drop of the Dokkan Fest future Androids. But it's good, man. Let me know if you think of them down in the comments. I'll see you next video, guys, and peace.